Hey everyone! So looks like today's screencast assignment is comparing uh, Linux with Windows and um, explaining 5 differences. So the 5 differences that I've picked are cost, security, support, license, and how user-friendly they are. So I'll start with cost. I actually have these written down because I did do a little bit more research aside from this website that we were given. I'll actually go to the one we were given. So cost, I did read a lot that Linux is free and you can actually distribute it within other computers once you've downloaded it, as opposed to Microsoft that you have to pay per computer and you can't freely share. So I think that's a very big difference. Who doesn't like free? So that's one of the main things that I found that was very, very different with both operating systems. The second I found was security. We're going to scroll down here to threat problems. Linux being not a commonly used operating system is more secure and stable. Windows being a more popular operating system is targeted by hackers and spammers. Why wouldn't you target something that you're going to get more people with, is essentially, I guess, they're thinking. So that's one thing that I found with them. And along with security threats comes support. So that's my third comparison. Linux doesn't have much support because it is a shared operating system as opposed to Windows that is owned by Microsoft. They have company support and official assistance, where if you have an issue, you can contact the company and they'll try to help you and resolve the issue. Linux, on the other hand, you'd have to go on Google and try to figure it out yourself, or hope that somebody has encountered the similar problem and you can fix. Though, one's free and one you pay for, so that's the difference there. And because, along with support, because Linux is free and it is community driven, and multiple people help with it, help develop it and change it and update it and stuff, it does offer fixes. And I even read on here it's somewhere along an hourly basis, where if you have an issue, somebody can help you and send you an update type thing. But as opposed to Windows, where it updates on a monthly basis, unless they have a legitimately large issue with a lot of their users, they'll send out kind of like an instant update, is what I've read. After support, our fourth comparison is license. Linux is licensed GNU Public License, and Windows is licensed proprietary. So Linux is, if you own or if you have Linux, you're free to share it, change it, modify it. You're free to, run it on as many computers as you want, as opposed to Windows, where you purchase it for one computer and you have to use it on that one computer, and you have to use it as it's essentially sold to you, because it's not your property. It's the company's property. And you have to keep paying to keep using it, and to use it on other computers as well. So that's the big difference on there. Personally, for me, I have no clue about, software. So being able to modify a program isn't something that I would be too concerned about, but, multiple computers and being able to share within those computers is something that is a benefit. And lastly, I have user-friendly. I actually have never heard about Linux before this assignment, so I had to do my own research on it. Windows, I'm definitely much more familiar with it. I actually have a Mac, so I use iOS, and I had to learn how to use that because it's not the same as Windows. So I can't even imagine using Linux because I've never even tried it. So because it is more or is less used, it's more unfamiliar, and people do have to learn a whole new system as opposed to Windows, where most computers already come equipped with it. Um, and I'm sure if I hopped on a Windows computer, I can easily manage my way through it because I'm pretty sure the ones at work run Windows. Um, so I'm familiar with it. So that's the difference. So those are the 5 that I picked. Though while reading more about Linux, I definitely would give it a try. Even though it would take me a little bit to adjust to the differences between it and Microsoft, I think it would be, worth it because it is free anyway. So those are my 5 comparisons. That's it.